Hey guys, Axel Stanley here, and of course, in this video, I basically talk about my top 5 favorite what ifs from the one and only MasakoX channel. Bear in mind, I get that all these images are not mine. They are MasakoX's, and they're rightful owners, so to speak. So without further ado, let's get into the top 5 what ifs that I think are the best of MasakoX's what if masterpieces, and have inspired me. For number 5, we have a tale known as what if Raditz went to Earth instead of Goku, and Goku going to basically be Frieza's, well, co-horse, workhorse, something like that. Mind as of the making of this video, this what if is definitely not complete, but honestly, it is actually kind of refreshing to see a what if, but keep strolling on as is. And honestly, the premise of this what if actually kind of had me intrigued. As a MasakoX fan myself, it's obvious that MasakoX, he's known for being a huge Raditz fan, and honestly, this shows to have potential as to what could happen if Raditz went from planet Vegeta to planet Earth, and that Goku gets left behind, taken by the Frieza Force. Yeah, this what if kind of does get a tad dark at the beginning, mostly because it's Raditz resorting to his cowardly ways, but he does know that he made a mistake and is looking to fix it. Goku, on the other hand, he's stuck being Frieza's lackey, Vegeta's lackey, and so on. Or at least that's how the beginning of the story untails. But when things go on, it actually gets really interesting. And trust me, this is a what if that I would definitely recommend, even if the what if isn't finished, as I said at the beginning of the video, but because it's such an interesting concept. Well, interesting because it's MasakoX and his mostly original take on the premise. Yes, what if Chi-Chi was a sea fighter? A what if that is not only complete, but also tells, well, something actually kind of different from what I heard is mostly, well, different from the other what ifers that tell this type of what if story. And the story itself basically delivers as promised. Granted, it doesn't go all the way to Dragon Ball Super and so on, but it is actually a very sweet story, as it does tell that of the premise of Chi-Chi's training, what she does, what she goes through, and so on. And in my opinion, probably one of the best versions of Chi-Chi that I've ever heard of in any what if scenario, or much more or less in the Dragon Ball sense of continuity. And hey, yeah, she's more than a typical housewife, as she is shown to have great training, especially with her sensei. Well, second sensei, yeah, if you want to put it like that. And her journey, quite interesting. The way she handles the situations, to basically how she handles her love life with Goku, but it's just very sweet. That's honestly all I can say about it, because it's just so amazing and cute, and I might actually get diabetes if I talk about this what if longer than I have to, but I definitely recommend it if you are looking for at least a more original take on this what if type of scenario, well, for Chi-Chi. Should you desire to, of course. And here we are on number 3, possibly next to even more original what if ideas flowing through this one. In this tale of what if Frieza turned good, yeah, trust me, it's a hard what if to crack, especially for most, because how do you justify Frieza becoming good at all? Well, in this what if, somehow I'd argue MasakoX actually did it. He actually pulled off a very believable tale. And it really shows. And granted, I am not the man MasakoX himself, but I imagine that he had to be very careful on how to rate Frieza, the additional characters, where the story goes. It just feels like a very well crafted story. So well crafted, in fact, that he actually came up with a spin-off series to this what if called Revelation F, if I'm not mistaken. Personally, I haven't seen it myself yet, but maybe one of these days I will. Sorry, I'm a personal fan of his other big what if story, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But all I can definitely say is, yes, this story is technically complete, but at the same time, it definitely could to be told at least a little bit more. I mean, with the way you're doing your spin-off series, it's based off of this what if, it definitely could go for maybe another few parts or so. Maybe a end of Z version of this what if? I don't know. But that being said, though, what absolutely definitely give this a try if you are a fan of Frieza and actually want to see him, well, become good, do some very interesting things. So heck, this what if I definitely give a recommendation too if you're a fan of like space oddities and whatnot, or if you're also a fan of more original characters, then yeah, I guarantee you this what if has them. Yes, now we come into the very biased part of the top 5, which is basically my second what if that I got into when I came to MasakoX's channel. And that is, what if Goku married Bulma? Like, literally, you can't really get any more basic than that. So, spoiler, well, not really. I'm kind of a sucker for some romantic subplots. At least I don't do shipping all that often. And if I do, well, I basically do it in secret because no one needs to know my ships. But this one, I'll make an exception for, because this what if tells of a very interesting pairing that is within Goku and Bulma. And basically asks the very question that I imagine a lot of people, even back in the day, asked: what if Goku did marry Bulma? And as we all already know, what Goku's current love life with Chi-Chi, well, questionable to say the least. And admittedly, this what if wasn't even going to be in the top 5 because of a certain part to this what if that actually kind of made me mad, but MasakoX continued and definitely made the what if back to definitely better than it once was. That being said, though, and spoiler, that part I mentioned, it kind of referred to somewhere in the Majin Buu saga, and you'll probably understand where the frustration did come from. We get a different Gohan. We also get to see Goku in a very interesting light, because he's not getting nagged at more often than not. So, believe it or not, this is actually a healthy pairing. Yeah, who would have thunk it? And Goku actually tries to be a very decent individual. So again, who knew? But so yeah, if you're looking for a change of pace where, well, a what if in this case that definitely has Goku's life being churned just because of a simple change of his love interest, that being with Bulma, then definitely give this a viewing, if anything, for sure. Because it definitely changes a whole lot of things. Well, maybe not as much as some of us would like to think it changes, but all in all, it definitely does change a whole lot. At least from the current the state of it, anywho. As yes, this story is definitely not complete, but I will definitely be around to see this what if story all the way to the end. And personally for me, yeah, definitely one of the best love stories ever. And now here we go to number one, and possibly the biggest what if that I imagine any fan of the MasakoX channel can agree is the best one ever. And yes, this is definitely a biased pick. Yes, so sue me. And why this what if in particular to those who may or may not be familiar with MasakoX's channel? It's because it is not only one of its best long-running what ifs, but it's also one of the few what ifs that can definitely do Raditz justice. Because in this what if, but it basically tells what if Raditz turned good. And honestly, from beginning to end, while it had completed a lot of parts to this, heck, the GT version of this what if recently got completed, and oh my goodness, I cannot somehow find a problem with this what if. But heck, even Raditz somehow manages to have a life that's definitely better than, well, the fate that he got in the original version of Z. And that is basically saying something. I mean, for one, he even shacks up with a character that I swear was the members of the Dragon Ball Z community seems to forget. Well, I say that, but I imagine it's accurate more accurately. What I mean by that is that he shacks up with Launch, they basically have a daughter, and then eventually two sons. His daughter, on the other hand, oh my goodness, she is a bundle of joy. But we're not talking about her as much as I would like to, because she's definitely a very interesting original creation by MasakoX. Raditz, though, oh boy, not only does he have a family, but he is probably one of the best brothers and probably one of the best tag teams for Goku, and Vegeta. And as far as anything else is concerned, he actually has a pretty decent rival with Vegeta, as he tries to prove that, hey, he may be lower class, but he is definitely one of the best Saiyans because, well, watch what if it's right now. And trust me, when you get into this what if, you'll wish that this was canon, because this gives pure light to one of the most underrated characters of DBZ ever. So yeah, I would gonna freaking recommend this to the higher Kais than that. Heck, even beyond universes, because this is a what if to see. And I would also definitely recommend checking out the spin-off series that is made prior with this what if. Dragon Ball R&R, I believe it's called, which basically is like a manga slideshow with Raditz, his daughter, his just Like, forgive me if I have been stuttering this entire time, because there is no way that I can justify how good this what if is. That's how good it is. So those are my top 5 MasakoX what ifs, and as I said in each and every one of them, I definitely give them a recommendation for different reasons. And honestly, he is the main reason why I have done, well, 2 different what ifs on this channel. But soon, I'll definitely get back into the what if game itself, and thanks to some of my friends from like behind the scenes, I've got an idea what I'm doing next. That being said though, if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit the bell to stay notified, share the content with your friends, and of course, let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. And of course, I hope to see you guys down further in the journey. Well, sorry. I hope you guys will stick around for the journey. See you around, guys.